Hello and welcome, I'm Dante from Low Mana, and today I'm running through some of the basics you need to learn to get Wrecking Ball swinging, and some shortcuts you can take on the hybrid maps. So before I get into some of the specific shortcuts, I thought it would be relevant to show the type of swings that you'll be using to zip around the maps, and surprise your enemies. Due to his ability to slam the ground and gain shields per nearby enemy, we're going to need to be in the middle of the action as fast as we can. The most basic swings you'll be doing are on archers, using them to gain momentum and gain a lot of height. A simple but effective way to activate your slam ability, vault certain terrain, and open up space for your team. While moving forward, simply aim for the peak when approaching and rocket yourself into the air. The next is probably the most common you'll use. You can slingshot yourself around corners. This gains your maximum speed very quickly, and you're able to use the momentum to travel a long way while still gaining height. Also, because you're starting this from around a corner, it's much harder for the enemy team to see it coming. This one is more just because it's fun, but it has some application as you attach yourself to the payload or to the center of a point to push others back. More importantly, it looks awesome when you have lots of Hammonds spinning around. The final is just like using the slingshot, except you're using a flat wall to propel yourself. A way of getting a large amount of speed very quickly, either just for navigation or to engage when you can't be so subtle. On top of these simple movements, you can also combo your other powers. Your slam will enable you to disrupt as you fall down, your shields will give you a huge health bonus, and if you have your ultimate, you can be an intimidating area denial. If you get the chance, I recommend combining all of these to completely shut down a point. Slingshot in, activate your mine, slam the ground, and then activate your shields. Mines will then rain from the sky around you as you watch the enemy scatter. To show you how to use these in action, I'll run through all of the hybrid maps and give some examples for closing distance quickly and clearing space most other heroes can't. I'm sure there'll be many more discovered over time, but these are just what I have so far. Blizzard World is one of the best looking maps in the game with a lot of winding side paths. Wrecking Ball makes his own though. Coming from the attacker's side from point A, if your team is pushing the main choke, Wrecking Ball can easily slingshot himself over most defenses straight onto the point. This is also a great way to get back into a fight if your team is already on the point. Once the point is taken, there are a fun few ways of actually vaulting the initial wall, rather than using the main entrance. Coming straight from spawn, you can hit this beam just over the point, with enough height and momentum to clear the wall, a faster and more entertaining way to land on the payload from a long distance. On a similar theme, if you're on the high ground, you can use the extra height to clear a huge distance using the door. Later in the map, as we look towards the final point, there are a few ways to clear the large gap. But when attacking, there is one simple way to clear the whole area plus the wall, landing you right on the point. A similar move can be done by the defenders to clear the gap after respawning. As you approach through the main arches, look upwards. There's the initial arch, but afterwards there's an even higher version. While going at your maximum speed, just jump and shoot this point to pendulum yourself over the entire wall. On the return, look to the pillar on the right. You can swing across this to clear the entire gap and land on the attacking side. Moving on to Iconvold, we have several huge moves we can do here, but if you're familiar with Pharaoh paths, you'll probably guess what they are. The first is that you can swing all the way around from the attacker spawn to behind the first point. It can be tricky, but it's reliable after some practice. Use the stairs to gain some height, launch yourself off the edge and shoot at the wall as you start to descend. Hold right as you swing around the wall and jump to free yourself once you reach the end. One of the larger and more useful moves you can do. Coming from the defender's side, you can launch yourself over the wall behind the point and land directly on the payload. This requires a lot of momentum, but it's pretty easy jump to land. For Hollywood, we can do essentially the same thing as we've done before, to clear the choke and end up on the point, for both attackers and defenders. Due to the sets, a lot of the slingshot style swings will work, especially the upper levels in the Western set. So to clear the choke from the attacking side, we're going to use a balcony and a tree. If we use the right side balcony for height, and then swing off this tree as an anchor, we can get enough momentum to clear the entire right side. Very useful depending on how the defending team is set up. On the defending side though, we can clear the big doors on the way to the point, without going out of our way. While rolling up from the defender's spawn, we can leverage ourselves using this corner wall, and just hop over the top. Great for recovering position on the point while ignoring traditional entrances. And finally, the last hybrid map we have is King's Row. Just like the others, we can use the balconies to clear the first choke and land on the point, by grappling the statue and slinging ourselves around. This does also work from the ground, but you may have to travel through the choke to pull it off. King's Row is home to probably the hardest trick with Wrecking Ball, swinging under the city on the last point and back up the other side. Farah can do this no problem, but for Hammond, you have a small window to hit. The very bottom of the pipe gives just enough momentum to swing all the way under and land the other side. This followed by some mines has the potential to be deadly. Obviously there are many more small jumps Wrecking Ball can clear, so if you want me to cover more of those for other types of maps, let me know in the comment section below. I've got a few fun ones I've found, so I may just show them anyway in the coming days. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you want more of this kind of content in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this or found it helpful, please leave us a like. You can subscribe to support the channel and hit the bell for notifications as content goes live. Until next time, I've been Dante, thanks for watching.